Hello, my beautiful bloomers. So it occurred to me recently that I haven't actually done any talks about parenting or to do with kids. So today I thought it was probably about time I did that. I'm going to be talking about ways that you can declutter and get your children involved. This is something I feel is a very important life skill to teach your kids. And it also helps you as a parent if you're fed up with all the stuff that you have in your house that you don't need. So I'm going to focus on toys, schoolwork and clothes today. So we'll start with toys. This is a great thing to do at Christmas in preparation for Christmas. I know it's nowhere near Christmas yet, but you can take this on board whenever you like. So what you'll need is obviously a trash can, either a box or a bag, whatever you have. This is going to be for donations, and then a box or again a bag for what you're going to keep. I find it best if you just let your child take full responsibility for this. So explaining to them obviously why you're doing this. I like to encourage empathy for children and to encourage them to consider other children, especially ones that specifically don't actually have any toys. If you have a particularly sensitive child, this is a great thing to do because it encourages them. They want to help other children predominantly, and you can use this as a way to help yourselves and other children. So let them know that you're going to give them to other children that don't have any and that need toys. And you can take this opportunity to explain that not every single family can afford to have toys. It's a good way to, just teach a child again that the world doesn't just revolve around them. And also that all families are different, and you can take the opportunity to use gratitude as well to teach your child gratitude, that they are very lucky that they have all these toys, and that not a lot of other children have these privileges. If you have a child that is reluctant, like especially over Christmas, this is a little bit naughty, but I find the idea of telling a child that if you don't clear out your toys, you're not going to be able to have any more, or Santa is not going to bring you any more. And this can be another incentive for a child to actually do this task. Usually though, when you give them full control themselves, then they're much more likely to do it. And also as a parent, you can, if the child is old enough, you can just leave the child to do it themselves and get on with other stuff that you need to do. If you particularly have, this applies for all of them, something that I recommend is a rotation system. So if you have a child that really wants to keep stuff and they find it really, really hard to let stuff go, what you can do is you can add an extra box, and say, we're going to have these toys, but we're going to put them away so they're not in the way and they're not making a mess. And whenever you want to, you can get this new box of toys out instead of the ones that you already have. You can do that with clothes, obviously. I like to do it seasonally with my clothes. I have my summer clothes in my wardrobe, and then I will put all away my winter clothes in my drawers. I don't tend to go through my drawers unless it's cold outside. Or I know I specifically need something. I have a limited space in my house, so I have to be aware of that. So you can do it seasonally as well, or yeah, it can be a fun little thing because it's almost like a little mini shopping trip too. And again, you're giving your child a sense of control, which is something that's really important for anybody. We need to feel like we're in control, especially children, and especially those of sassy children. Um, I'll go into that another time about, sassy children, misbehaviours and stuff, and how you can deal with that. So the next big topic is a schoolwork system. So I figured this one out when I was in America, not for the family I was working for, but actually my friend's family. I have a friend that really struggles with decluttering and living a minimalistic lifestyle, and she found it particularly difficult when her children came home at the end of the day after school with a ton of pictures, schoolwork. Like, there was just so much stuff and she just did not have the room for it, and frankly some of it she just didn't want. And a really good system that I came up with is, again, if you have a desk in your kitchen or somewhere communal, wherever the kids tend to go after school to their homework and stuff, for example, you can use that space and turn it into a little organisation caddy. And if you, at the end of the day, get your child to empty their bags of work that they've got from school, allow them to go through their work and tell them that you want them to select one thing, and they can put that one thing in the box. And again, obviously, before you do this, you need to explain to your child why you're doing it. It may be a case of just explaining to them that it's good to not overfill things, and just alliterate that we don't need all of these things, but I want you to be able to keep things. And as well, you can go through the pile yourself. If there's anything you as a parent are like particularly proud of that they've done, take that out, put it on display yourself, like on the fridge, or if you've got a space or an office that you want to put it up, then feel free to do that as a parent. But I want you to give your child the power, allow them again to feel like they're in control, because it's their work, and why shouldn't they get to decide what they do keep and what they don't? Because at the end of the day, eventually this stuff is going to probably belong to them anyway. Every day you're going to do this, just one thing, and at the end of the week I again get the child to go through the whole box, and they choose one thing that we keep, and this gets to go wherever. Like, if you have a storage cupboard, put it in the storage cupboard. Otherwise you can display it again, but it's really important. It's another life skill for children to learn, that we can't keep everything. It's just not practical. So yeah, make sure you explain that to your child. You can do this with any age child. I did this with a 3-year-old, and at first she was reluctant, but actually after a while, every time we went to the library, for example, and she filled out a colouring sheet, her immediate thing was to do afterwards would just be put it in the bin. She's like, I don't need this. I had fun making it, and that's what matters. Like, she was really mindful of this stuff because I had these systems in place. So it is effective for any age. So for clothes, if you are absolutely overwhelmed by the amount of clothes that you have in your child's wardrobe or just hanging about everywhere, I recommend to do the same system as I told you about with the toys. Obviously, again, let your child choose what they love to wear. They're the ones wearing the clothes, so why not let them decide what they actually like to wear. If you don't have loads of clothes but you're looking to minimise, there is another process that I recommend. It's a slow process, but it's quite an easy way to, you know, not be time consuming. So for busy parents especially, I recommend this one. Choose 10 pieces of clothing for your child to wear for the month. Let your child choose the clothes, but be there with them, just so that you can use your own knowledge to see if it's actually appropriate for them to be wearing that item of clothing. You know, it might be winter, so they'll need long sleeves, or it might be raining, so you know, that kind of stuff. Obviously if they're older they can probably figure that out themselves, but if you're looking at a younger generation, then definitely be there while they do it, just to give your insight to that. At the end of the week, I'd like you to, again, you can let your child do this, or if you feel like it would probably just be easier for you to do yourself, then go ahead and do that. Use your own judgment. Select one piece of clothing that your child has not yet worn in the week. It's a big sign, and it's an easy way to do this by just looking in your washing basket. If they haven't worn it, then they're probably, you know, not that into it. And keep doing this every week, just selecting one item that they haven't worn that week, and you'll eventually reduce the things that you have in the wardrobe. And then again, you can use the rotation system again for this. So, you know, they might feel like they don't want to wear this item, or they might change their mind. So you could leave a trunk of clothes in their room or in your room, so that they can choose an item out of their wardrobe to switch with another one if they want to. I hope that all made sense. If you have any questions, because it didn't make sense, or you know, you have any of your own tips of how to declutter your children's belongings, then feel free to put them in the comments. I'd love to hear your shares and your opinions, and you know, let me know if these have been helpful too. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your decluttering.